guys, I'm Lockie from 186. Welcome back to All Talk. Today we're here with Lachlan and his BMW E30. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about your background in cars?
Yeah, so when I was younger, my father was quite into cars. He had a few toys of his own. One of them featured in the Fast Fours magazine. It was a Honda EK Civic. Back when they were brand new, completely voided the warranty and threw close to 80 grand back in the 2000s at it. And that thing was supercharged, nitrous, all the above. He's had probably more cars than his age. So yeah, I just grew up around toys and quick cars and you know, motorsport. When we could get out there, we did. So yeah, my father actually had a 318 IS E30. Would have been about, I think 11 or 12 at the time. And when he had it, I just wanted one. And I was actually looking for a two-door coupe because, you know, I love the two doors as well. And it was hard to find a clean one that was tidy, that was straight, that didn't need too much work on it. And I actually found this one down in Melbourne. And I thought, you know what, I've got two little girls, you know, I've got a partner, and the four doors, it works. And yeah, man, just decided to go with this one with a nice straight body. The guy Mal, I bought it off. He owned the car for close to 15 years prior to me. So I'm not too sure about the history prior to that, but yeah, he did a full restoration. There's no rust in the body. You know, anyone can put it up on a hoist or pull the rubbers out of every seal and have a look. So yeah, sort of how I came about the car. I drove it back 21 hours straight from Melbourne, flew down. My dad and I took turns driving it back up, and we got it back up here and had the car up here driving around for about a month, and then the head gasket went. It was nothing like it is sort of now, but yeah, it was just meant to be a head gasket, and ended up being 2 to 3 years of just rebuilding and pulling things apart and getting it to sort of where it is right now. I've owned the car for close to 5 years, and yeah.
Obviously this car isn't in its stock state, is it?
No, it's a bit of a Frankenstein. It's got a lot of parts from a lot of different cars in it. The previous owner named her Stella, and I said I'd honour that. If I didn't honour that, I would have named her Frank, or named him Frank, I should say, short for Frankenstein. There's probably a lot of haters out there in regards to the originality of an E30, but I mean it's European style with a Japanese heart, and yeah, I just wanted to be different. So it's a 1985 323i. You know, it's got a 1G GTE out of a Mark III Toyota Supra. Started off just basic build, pulled it apart, completely rebuilt the block. It's all original, but new crank, pistons, rods, coated, blueprinted. Heads off a 1GG FE, so I had to put in all the oil ports. It's got twice the valve ports in it. I had to make a custom-made metal head gasket to suit. So it's got 256 HKS cams, HKS cam gears. The distributor is actually a 1G GTE, a 7M GTE, and a bit of customization to sort of work with the setup. Rob Novak at Definition Motorsport did an excellent job of rebuilding the motor. Took a while. There was a lot of complications to overcome because no one builds them. Everyone does the J's, and yeah, I just wanted to be a little bit different and be above from the rest in that sort of sense. Yeah, you've got the fuel system. We have TurboSmart FPR 800 series, as well as surge tank. There's over 20 meters of braided lines in the whole entire fuel system, front to rear. No hard drawn lines. We've got two Aeroflow fuel filters, obviously bulkheads, all Aeroflow fittings throughout the fuel system and throughout the car itself. Turbo is a hot side, so is a GTW 3476R with a HKS steam pipe manifold, running off a 3-inch dump, and it's sort of 3-inch all the way out at the moment. I did have it externally gated, but the police didn't like that when they pulled me over. I've only ever been pulled over in the car once, and he was actually really good about it. He said he loved the car. He just said, you know, the emission laws. So I had to internally plumb it at the moment, but it is still straight through, and sort of pushing my luck there a little bit, but I thought for the shoot we'll bring it out as it is. In regards to the cold side, so it's just sort of factory manifold. Obviously just the intercooler pipings have been customized to suit the intercooler at the front. Sort of wanted to go a bit of a VL spec sort of setup, let it sort of be tidy, clean, but at the same time noticeable. And yeah, man, it's had a fair bit done in regards to the engine work, and it runs perfectly. It's just on and run and tune at the moment. So you know, it's just making over 300 to the rear wheels. Plenty more in the tank. There's just other components like the gearbox, which is a W58, as people know. Anything sort of over 350, they will break. And that would probably be the next step in regards to strengthening up the box so I can push a bit more out of the motor. 1150cc injectors, dynamic match flowed. Yeah, man, yeah, it's all TurboSmart wastegates, race port blow-off valve, TurboSmart as well. R35 GDR coil packs. Yeah, I said engine loom was completely redone, front to rear. Haltech 750 Elite ECU. Yeah, man, yeah, all the gauges are custom made, so they're VDO and autometer. Yeah, that's sort of more the engine side of things.
Yeah, it's very, very special. Yeah. Interior as well, there's a little bit going on in there. What's
Yeah, so obviously originally they got the back seat. I've got 2 Recaros in the front that's retrimmed and 2 Recaros in the rear retrimmed and mod plated. The interior, the door cards, the linings all been replaced. Like I said, the gauge has been replaced. Just the essentials like your shifter knobs. But besides that, it's essentially still the same interior you'd see in an E30. It's just different to the rest. That's the main target. I've never seen anyone with a 4-seater E30. Yeah, so love it. Yeah, definitely. The stereo system, it's got 6.5-inch splits in the doors, 6.5-inch splits in the rear, as well as a 12-inch sub and an amplifier running it. I don't often listen to the stereo because I love listening to the engine, but at the same time, if you're on the highway and you're cruising for a distance, it's good to play a bit of music and have the windows down and just enjoy the moment. Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. You got a few little accent pieces around the car I noticed, like the hood emblem in carbon fiber and a few other little ones around the car. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, the front and rear hood emblems aftermarket, as well as the grille. I've still got the factory chrome grille at home, but I just like that black look. The headlights have been upgraded. The indicators have been tinted on the front and the rear, as well as the taillights have been replaced. The mirrors are aftermarket. Obviously, the wheels, tires, suspension. So yeah, it's sort of got a few little tweaks in regards to exterior modifications, but nothing too crazy. I still wanted to keep that original shape. I did think about pumping the guards out, because I do want to go of a bit more of an aggressive offset when I do push a bit more power, just to get a bit more tread behind the rears, and obviously the front as well. So I've sort of tried to give it a tasteful balance that it sort of doesn't look like your typical E30, but at the same time, everyone knows it's an E30, obviously. So yeah, the paintwork is the original color, which is, so yeah, it's Cosmos Blue Metallic, but I did add a little bit more fleck in it. So obviously in the right sunlight, you can see a lot of blue metallic sort of shimmer throughout the paintwork. Yeah. I
did see a little sticker on the back, which I quite like, is respect your elders.
Yes.
Really like that one. It pays a little bit of a kind of homage to the history of the E30 itself. So
yeah. Yeah, well, the car's 36 years old. I'm 31, so it's older than me. It's probably older than all of us. But yeah, just respect your elders. A nice little touch. I didn't want too many decals on the car. Like I said, I wanted to keep it that sleek look. A good friend of mine, Dean, gave me the sticker. It says fueled by hate on the fuel flap. So that's actually only been put on the car recently. Took me a little bit getting used to it, because I didn't want too many stickers on the car, but I just wanted that right look. So I find it's tasteful, and I've had good comments about it so far. People love the stickers, so yeah.
That's awesome. You mentioned a little bit about going bigger offset, bigger tires. What type of driving are you doing at the moment? Any track driving? Is it usually a street driving, mountain driving? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So no, I haven't taken it to the track yet. I definitely want to. Like I said, I just want to upgrade a couple of things and run a little bit more power through it to get out there and play with a couple of the big boys. It's a light car, so it does surprise a few toys that do make more power, but they just got that power to weight ratio. I take it up to the mountains a fair bit. Mount Nebo, Mount Glorious is always a lovely drive. Mount Tambourine a couple of weeks ago was great. I don't take it out as much as I want to. I guess between keeping the kilometres low, the car's hasn't even done 8,000 kilometres since rebuild. So I think it's 7,400 at the moment since rebuild. And that's, that got rebuilt a year and a half ago. So, 7,500 in sort of 18 to 20 months isn't much.
Wow.
So I do get it out. I do want to take it to the track. At the moment, it puts the power down really well. I've got two 15s front and rear. They're 17-inch by R40s. So there's plenty of tread for the current setup. You know, it's phenomenal through corners, through mountains, like a giant go-kart. So I guess in regards to its setup and driving style at the moment, it is more you know, bit of mountain fun and stuff. But in saying that, like she pulls on a straight line as well. So yeah, definitely. I think when I transition a bit more into the higher power figures, and I do go forged pistons and rods in the bottom end, and I do upgrade the diff and gearbox and the tail shaft, then you know, we'll look at something a bit more aggressive, a bit more straight line, roll racing sort of setup.
Yeah, awesome. Well, why don't we go for a little bit of a drive and hear a purr?
Yeah, definitely. There's a little bit of fuel added in for D-cell, so it likes to crackle and pop off acceleration.
What about power figures? What are you currently sitting at?
So at the most, like I said, it's literally just on its run-in tune, just making sure everything's happy, and like everything's been great for, you know, just shy of 8,000 kilometers now. But it's just making just over 300 to the rear wheels.
Yep.
But definitely there's a lot more potential. So like I said, the power to weight ratio at the moment with me in the car is, you know, 1 horsepower every 4 kilos. Like I said, ultimately the goal is to go 2 to 1, and it's got to strengthen up a couple of other components to be able to push that power out of the engine. But it's awesome. Yeah.
Definitely quite.
A lot of people that I take them for a drive, they expect it's got more power. And I just said to them, it just gets it down so well that, you know, it's got the wheel spin, but it's still shifting the momentum. Like it's,
and being so light as well definitely helps.
Yeah. You know, I absolutely love driving this car. Like, I've had other cars. I've had Datsun 1200U. I've had a VFU. You know, other little bits and pieces, but this thing's by far the most fun, unique, cleansing car that I've ever owned, and just to part ways would be horrible in my opinion. But you know, it's obviously got its little bits and pieces that need to be addressed. Like I said, you know, with the shifter boot, just getting that made to suit the gearbox a bit better. But it definitely draws attention.
Hi Lachlan, thanks so much for bringing the E30 down today and showing us through your build. If you guys enjoyed this episode and want to see new episodes in the future, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, and make sure you tick the notification bell so you know every time we post a new video, and we'll see you on the next one.
Awesome, thank you.